It's Happy Hour from Uptown New Orleans. Hello, I'm Grant Morris. Happy Hour is part of the family of shows on the podcast network. It's neworleans.com. When you walk into a bar in New Orleans and you pull up a bar stool, you never know who's going to be sitting on either side of you. What you do know, however, is no matter what they look like, what they're wearing, whether they just got out of a limousine or just got out of jail, they're going to be happy to talk to you because that's New Orleans, and this is Happy Hour, a cocktail-fueled 60 minutes of random conversation with folks who have nothing in common, other than we're all New Orleanians in a bar. Today we are at Wayfair on Ferret Street. You know anything about Wayfair, Roger?
It's way cool.
Way up.
All right.
Wayfair. Wayfair.
Yeah.
Sheba Turk, you know anything about Wayfair? Have you been here before?
No, I've been in Cora next door last week.
You went.
Does that count?
Did you say court?
Ancora.
Ancora. I
You're trying to
thought
put
you
me
said
in
you
the
were in
jail
court
category
next door.
already?
Yes, I just wondered what the court was. That was interesting. Ancora, how did you like? That's a pizza place only.
Yeah,
You like
it was
pizza?
lovely. Yeah, I love pizza.
You have to watch your figure in your business.
I guess you should.
Is it true that the camera adds 10 pounds? Let's get that straight.
They do. That's the number one thing people tell me. They like
Right.
to go, that TV makes you look so fat.
Really?
I'm saying, thank you. I'm glad that I don't have any
Sheba Turk
body
is
issues.
the host of the anchor of the morning news on WWLTV, the highest rated news show in New Orleans. Correct?
Done your research, sir. Yes, it is.
Well, I didn't actually do it. I just believe that's true. Is that true?
It is.
It is true.
Yeah.
Well, is it better than all the other shows? Or just,
Don't you start
or
mess.
just more people like it because people don't know what they should
It
watch.
is legendary, and I'll leave it at that.
It is legendary. And you also host your own show called The 504.
Yeah.
In the
love that one.
evenings on WUPL.
Mhm. You
Roger
do in the
Wilson is an
mornings.
actor, among other things, and also created the income tax credit, the Broadway South, it's called.
That's right, yeah.
So he's done a lot of things. You might know him better, though, as what character did you play in? Mickey in the movie Porky's.
Long time ago, before Sheila was born.
Yeah, Sheba with a B.
Oh, Shiva.
That's
Sorry.
okay.
Yeah.
We're still getting to know each other.
Yeah.
Well, before she was born.
Is that really before you were born, Sheba?
Yeah, what movie is this?
Porky's.
And yeah.
I've never seen Porky's?
No, but don't do my movie references.
Steve Turner, move in here.
You got it.
This is Stephen Turner from the Breton Sound, and this is his bandmate Jonathan Pretus from the
Hello.
Breton Sound.
Guys.
Hello, boys.
Howdy.
And the world famous Andrew Duhon, of course, to my right.
Yeah.
Hey.
Hello. So that's who's sitting
He's
around
not
the
famous
table
in
here.
New Zealand.
He's not famous in New Zealand. I don't know.
I don't
whether
know
that's
why
true
do we
or
always
not.
have to bring up New Zealand
I
when
don't
this
know, it's
comes
just a
up?
problem.
Why?
When we
why
talk
now?
about the world, that is the center of
That's
the world.
cool to be able to say world famous, though. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's just what Grant says.
Grammy nominated. Grammy nominated.
All right.
How about that?
Yeah.
Did you get nominated, Roger, for anything that you were ever in?
Grammy nominated.
Grammy nominated.
No.
What about Emmy or Oscar
Emmy
nominated?
nominated, yes,
Well,
but we're not
excuse
going to
me.
go
Okay.
into that.
What are we
What-
doing at this table?
I know, right?
Well,
Sheba,
we're going to go around.
We've been nominated for something.
Oh.
I don't know about you, but
What am I doing at this table?
What have you been nominated for,
the
Jonathan?
Big Easy Awards this year nominated us for Best Emerging Band.
Hey, I'm hosting this. Well, no, I'm presenting.
All
I'm
right.
sorry.
Are you?
Hopefully you're doing Best
That would
Emerging
be
Band.
cool
good
if I
word
presented
for
you
us.
guys.
Well, hopefully we
Just
win.
make it work, yeah.
Okay.
Don't you have something to say if you get to present? Don't you basically pick it? Isn't that how it works?
I don't think
just
so.
like-
I
Isn't
think
it
I just
rigged?
show up.
Like
Well,
they
you
give
did
you an
it last
envelope and
year,
you
right?
write something on it, and then you open the envelope, and
You're
then
like,
what you do?
screw these guys. It's the Breton Sound. You did it last year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You did
And we're-
what? You played it.
Yeah, I did play it, yeah.
And you won something too. You were you're the winner of the 2014 Big Easy Award for Best Country / Folk Artist.
Hey.
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir. We did win the country folk artist.
That is kind of a
I
strange.
remember you had that
Yes.
nudie suit on. It was all sparkly.
Man, I ain't never seen nothing shine so bright.
Were you playing at Merchant Coffee Shop last month?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Dude, you're awesome.
Hey, thanks,
You were
dude.
really good. He's
is,
really
isn't
good.
he?
Don't you
every
love?
night.
Don't you
I
love
love
the
that.
morning show?
He sounds
you
like
know,
Ray
speaking of.
LaMontagne. Yeah, he
A little.
goes on our
Yeah.
morning show.
You're really good, man. Really good.
Thanks, man.
Very
Who
good.
would you compare him to, Roger? In your
Well, I wouldn't compare him, but he's, I spent a lot of my life as a musician, and the one thing to me that distinguishes musicians is when you hear a guy and he's connected to himself, his emotion, his spirit, and
Right.
it comes out in the second you hear him, and this cat has it. Yeah.
He's
Thanks,
got
man.
it. Yeah, nice.
Have you heard the Breton Sound, bro?
You're gonna hate us so much. We are not.
You're not connected
We're not
to
connected
shit.
to
Then
anything
again,
that we do.
Guys unconnected make a lot of money too, so it doesn't matter.
You know how when you are sending a text message, it does the just the autofill of random words?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how we write lyrics. We just hit the next button, and whatever word pops
Yeah,
in,
it's the
that's
center
the next
one.
word.
The
All
one
right,
has
so
the three
tell me,
at
what
the
does
center.
Inagata Davida mean?
In the Garden of Eden.
It's actually a commentary on the fiscal situation in Russia circa 1964.
There you go.
Okay, that's very good.
I think I was
so
right.
how's that? Do you have to pay a royalty to Apple for autofill or Android? Which one do you use?
I have an iPhone, but that's not actually how we write.
That's
I
not.
was
Oh, you're
lying.
making that up.
I was
Oh, I
lying
thought that
to
was
you
true.
100%.
Not all the time.
Didn't David Bowie say that he wrote lyrics by cutting them up on a piece of paper and then?
He and Mick Jagger did that. They
Is
were,
that true,
they
or
would- they would
was
cu-
he making that up?
That's what serial
both
killers
did that.
do.
Well,
that's
they
ransom
make
notes.
notes.
That's ransom letters.
Works, but you could do both and be quite efficient at both. You know,
You could write a really creepy song.
You could write, and then if it didn't sell, you could use it as a ransom note. Not a bad idea.
Pretty much.
So, Roger, what did you play, or what band were you in, or what music?
I
do you
actually,
play?
back in the, I was lucky. I got to study music really early in New York with a wonderful school teacher. And before I knew it, after Porky's, I got a musical series on CBS for 3 years called Seven Brides for Seven Brothers, based on the old MGM musical. And it was the first musical and the last musical series ever on CBS.
Oh, wow.
But what's interesting is I was the singing brother, but we had a very famous songwriter, Jimmy Webb, who provided all the songs to the show, the Wichita Lineman. By the time I get to Phoenix,
You sang those songs?
no, that's what
He
Jimmy
wrote
Webb wrote.
those
What
songs.
Jimmy gave us was if he had a trunk of rejects, that's what he sent to the show.
Who rejected?
And basically, the show was like Little House on the Prairie with music. So I'd be singing with a flannel shirt on, and a cow would like walk right behind me mid-song. You know, and it would elicit this very mid-American emotion, and that was it. Yeah, you
That's
know?
pretty cool.
Wow.
Yeah, but I got to sing with some wonderful people, and I've gotten to jam with some wonderful people in my life. But these guys are real musicians.
Well, they are,
Get out of here.
but
Get
you-
outta here.
cool.
You're from here originally. You were born
I'm
and
born and
raised in
raised
New
here
Orleans.
originally, yeah.
So
Definitely.
did you play while you were here? Did you learn here?
No, I have friends like my friend David Torkanowski and guys who are so serious musicians that I'm not allowed to play with them.
That's
I'm
a-
allowed to pay and listen, but I'm
What
not
do you
allowed
play?
guitar and sing and harmonica.
how
but
cool.
you can't play with those cats.
There
'cause
just
they're like
happen to be
serious.
Yeah.
guitars right there.
You wanna-
if
Right.
Do you want to grab a
uh,
guitar?
you know.
Later.
What
Yeah.
about?
Later.
I say right now. What do you guys
No,
say?
it can
Come
be
on,
later. I'm just
Roger.
excited that it's going to happen. You know,
Yeah.
it's fun.
Okay, should we give you for real? You're going to play for real?
Yeah, sure, later.
Okay,
but
so
later. I
every-
mean, you have an hour. Let's
Everyone's playing
we
a
got time.
song on
We got
today's
time.
show.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah, apparently
everybody's
I'm
playing.
not right.
She
You
was
didn't give me the
playing as
memo.
well.
You're learning the chords.
Oh,
Yeah.
great.
Went over.
She
Okay,
was got
perfect.
So
got
she-
backing vocals. On
Right,
the
because
song.
she was
Oh,
saying
okay.
just before we turned on the mics here that she's always wanted to play the guitar,
I do.
and you have a guitar, but you've never
and
played
I have
it.
one. I've
How
never
did you get
touched
it?
I convinced my parents to buy it for me for my birthday like 3 years ago.
Mm.
And then I set it down. I don't think I've picked it up since.
Are you too scared to pick it up?
No, I'm just doing other things.
You know what a lot of people do when they have a guitar and they haven't learned to play it to get out of that funk? They buy another guitar.
I just happen to have one here.
I just got a new one yesterday, actually.
Yesterday.
I did.
you
yeah.
really? What is it? That one?
I
up there?
traded a guitar, not for this guitar here. I traded a guitar I'd had for a few years for something new. I just kind of had the Jones, and
What'd you get, dude? What'd you get?
I traded a Gretsch hollow body for a 72 Tele Deluxe reissue.
Sick, dude.
Yeah.
Now
nice,
we're
bro.
into the sort of nerdy.
I might have taken
Now
that
it's
Gretsch
getting
one.
nerdy.
Is
Yeah,
that cool?
the more adjectives you have on
Yeah,
the
yeah.
guitar,
I
the
just
better
had
it
an
is.
amazing flashback, by the way, because you were talking about jamming. About a year and a half ago, Steven and I were at a party that you were at, Andrew.
Out in the
Out in,
woods,
out in the woods
Oh,
on the
yeah,
North
yeah,
Shore.
yeah,
And I don't know if you remember,
Okay, it's
but
getting
we did a
scary.
really
Right.
atrocious drunken attempt at covering Bring It On Home by Sam Cooke.
I would disagree
was
that it
so
was.
bad.
I thought it was good.
I thought I was terrible. I was like, you know what, Andrew probably killed it. I was atrocious. Let's go home.
I thought we were all great.
I think I nodded off mid-song.
Yeah,
I think you did.
How
maybe.
often do you just have jam sessions in the woods?
Not very.
Okay.
We should
It
do
was
it
just
more.
this random
Actually,
weird party.
once a year.
What is that actually? What does that
Well,
mean
that is
by
kinda
in the
true.
I
woods?
was saying, well, I was gonna say,
We
never
were-
mind.
do you
How
hang
would you
out
describe
in
it?
the
It
woods?
was,
How would you
well,
describe
it was
that?
on the
Sheba, you
North
ever
Shore.
hang out in the woods?
No,
No.
I can't say that I can.
Why not?
Roger, you,
You
ever
never
hang
been
out in the
camping?
woods?
It was at a house on the North Shore.
Not with
Yeah.
guys with
It
beards.
was a
no.
farm.
Yeah, a couple guys with beards say they want to go to the woods and have a jam session. You don't ask
Just
questions.
pitching tents, playing guitars, man. No big deal.
Whose house
big
was
deal.
it?
What?
Whose house was it?
Some guy.
Rebecca Reboucher. And
Right there.
Yeah, she's an artist about town, and she kind of hosted a
Summertime
a night,
soiree.
Yeah, so, yeah, totally.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was hot.
So-
That's true.
It was hot. I wore jeans because I'm dumb. And I got real sweaty because it's really hot.
But you didn't get bitten by mosquitoes out in the woods.
I
which is
did not.
a
I
good
did
thing.
not.
There you go.
So how often have you guys played together, the three of you?
That was the
Breton
only
Sound boys
time.
and-
Yeah, that's the only time that we joined musical forces, but I think we've been on different bills together.
Yeah, we have. You played at our Rock and Hops show with us a couple
Yep.
years ago.
Totally.
And I used to see Andrew back at LSU.
Uh-huh.
When you would play at
Oh
Mellow
yeah,
Mushroom.
dude, and you were playing with Cowboy Mouth, yeah?
No, before that.
Oh, dude, that's a cool thing. No, is it not cool? I think it's cool.
We don't talk
We're not-
about that
I
anymore.
guess, yeah, I
What,
guess
did you
it's
get
cool.
fired from Cowboy Mouth?
Oh, no, I quit.
That'd be a way better story.
No.
What happened? musical difference of opinion?
Sure.
You ever seen Office Space?
That's acceptable.
No, I have not seen Office Space. What's the significance?
Yeah, where are you going with that one?
Don't worry about it.
I'm curious. No, this was way before that, because we had mutual friends, the Catchings brothers.
Oh yeah.
And I remember seeing you at Mellow Mushroom.
Yeah, man.
That
That was my
Mellow Mushroom. You were
college
playing at
shop.
the Mellow Mushroom.
We see the way that it worked in my world in college was like, there was Saturday and Sunday, and sure you'd go to parties, but what you were really doing all week is learning the newest radio song so you could play it on Tuesday night at the open mic, because there was a row 3 short skirts deep right in front of that
Okay.
open mic stage.
And what did you
That
have?
was just for you. The rest of us.
No, it was like taking up. But the thing was, like, I had an early set, so there wasn't really like a 3. You know,
It was
hour
more like 3
mushroom.
dudes in jeans. but
Yeah.
that's
3
okay.
dudes in
So
cargo
what
shorts.
songs-
they were like legends of that open mic, you know.
What were you learning? What songs were they?
Oh man, Jack Johnson and Ben Harper, and things that were popular in
All
that
right.
vein, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
We were doing the cover band thing at the same thing. We were doing
Yeah.
the same thing.
You had a cover band. You
Yeah.
guys were at LSU at the same time.
Yeah, we were in a cover band at LSU together at the same time.
Remember Northgate Tavern?
Oh,
I remember
God,
seeing you
yeah.
guys there.
We played there a
my
number
little
of times.
prog rock band in college used to play there all the time. man. That
Okay, so there's a lot of people in and out of Cowboy Mouth all the time. It's a rotating sort of. They seem, Fred LeBlanc, the drummer and the leader of the band, stays there, and he seems to have a lot of people through there. What's the sort of system?
How do
I
I?
think
I'm trying to think of how to put this in the most democratic way.
I think it's
and
8
polite
months.
way.
He just did 8 months max. is
You
the
can't
rule.
take it because it's too hard. There's too much traveling.
They
And
do
it's too
play
loud, or what?
No,
is it?
the traveling and the volume. That's not an issue.
Yeah, they do play a lot.
Everyone's left for different reasons. Really at the
What
end.
was your reason?
At the end of the day,
They started a new band.
yeah, I wanted to write. I wanted to play the songs I was writing. I wanted to play with him.
It sounded terrible.
I wanted to play music with Steven, the music that we had started writing together already, and those songs weren't really going to be up for consideration with that band.
It's
So
really not that juicy of a story.
No, it's not that good. I was expecting more.
And I got tired of the monthly virgin sacrifices.
That's true.
And it was just
Right.
it was rough.
You had
Okay.
to find a volcano every time, which is the hardest part.
The cleanup, boy.
Yeah.
Well, he's kept that band going for a long time. Fred
Yeah,
LeBlanc.
20
It's-
something years.
Yeah,
and,
it's a lot of
I played with
miles.
the guitarist who's been in the band the whole time, John Thomas Griffith. I played a show with him during Jazz Fest over at the Little Gem Saloon.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, that was fun.
So listen, you guys want to play something?
Yeah,
we've got
definitely.
guitars
Please
right
do.
here. Let's
Yeah.
check it out.
What
you
you want to play?
Because I see you have a new EP coming out called. What is it called? Don't Be Afraid of Rock and Roll.
That is the correct title, and that comes out on Tuesday.
Okay.
And we're having a
Let's just get this straight right now. It comes out on Tuesday, the what day of what
the
year?
19th of May,
2015.
2015.
So if you listen to this anytime after the 19th of May 2015,
He's the lead
it's
singer.
the record is available.
2015 AD.
AD, and it's going to be available wherever good music is streamed or stolen.
Online,
I assume.
in stores, wherever you
Where
want.
could we steal it from?
You can steal it from our own website. We'll give it to you for free if
Okay,
you really
so it's
don't
up
want
on-
to pay for it. It'll
No,
be
most
on,
people do not
it'll
want
be
to
on
pay
the
for music.
bretonsound.com. It'll be on
Okay.
don'tbeafraidofrockandroll.com. It will also be on Spotify, iTunes, Amazon. Also for free on Bandcamp.
Okay.
it's for free. You can
It's
buy it
all
if you
over
want
the.
to.
It's all
Yeah.
over the internet.
Yeah.
It's all over the known world. Okay.
Let's do. You want to do Stitches? Do that. Let's do that one. Scoot over a hair here. Can y'all? I want you to have to hold it. Can you hear us?
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Got it?
All right. Seems like only yesterday that we were all so young. Before we all were damaged goods, we'd always chase the sun. Now we're so much older and our lives begin to show. Broken by a heart you used to know. Don't be scared to be alive. You're just blind, never mind all the times that you kept it all inside. This time will heal your hurt, my friend. You will live again. Never mind all the time blood still beating in its chest. Maybe you might find it's for the best. Never mind all the times that you sacrifice your pride. This time will heal your hurt, my friend, and you will live again. Never mind all the times that you sacrifice your pride. These stitches in your heart will mend, and you will live again. Don't be scared to be alive. You're just blinded by the light. Seems like only yesterday that we were all so young. Before we all were damaged goods, we'd always chase the sun. Never mind all the times that you kept it all inside. This time will heal your hurt, my friend, and you will live again. Never mind all the times that you sacrifice your pride. These stitches in your heart will mend, and you will live again. Never mind all the time. Never mind all the times that you sacrifice your pride. These stitches in your heart will mend, and you will live again. Take it home, Steve-O.
Oh. Okay, the Breton Sound. The Breton Sound. What's the name of the song?
That song is called Stitches.
Stitches. It's a song about someone else's heartbreak, not your own.
Yes. Stephen and I had a friend who passed away about a year and a half ago. And at the same time, I had a couple of friends who were getting divorced and their lives were kind of getting uprooted. And it was kind of an attempt to write something for all of our friends that were dealing with different things and try to be somewhat uplifting and like put an arm around their shoulder and be like, you know, things will be okay, but not be like sad bastard about it.
Right.
Try to keep it somewhat positive.
And then
So-
we asked iPhone and center button. the
Yeah, and
whole
then we
time.
we wrote everything with the iPhone at that
iPhone.
point.
Can I just
Okay.
say that's the first time that we've ever had a pause from the restaurant playing
That's
a song
true.
for the podcast?
Mostly
you know?
people are looking sort
First
of
time.
uncomfortable.
Yeah, everyone's
yeah.
like, oh, what was that?
Yeah.
There might still be some awkward people.
Yeah.
No, these are
Oh no,
people
they're
who-
around. Yeah.
So Sheba, pull up a chair here,
Okay.
and it's time for your first lesson.
Okay, let's do it.
Let's see how you can. What chord would you teach someone first, like Sheba? You've never touched a guitar.
The
ever
first
in-
No,
chord
I
I would
have.
teach.
Andrew may have a perspective on this.
No, go.
The first chord I would teach is A, because you can play it with one finger.
Oh, well, that's easy.
Stephen, if you would, show her how to play a one-finger A
Can you
chord.
play a song though with
Stephen,
one-
the A chord,
with
if you
just
would.
the A?
Pearl Jam
'Cause-
Jeremy.
I'm supposed to hold this?
Yeah,
Pearl Jam's
Jeremy.
Jeremy.
pretty
Okay.
much stays in A the whole
we go.
time.
Okay.
Everybody,
Sadly, I have several friends who
Now
play.
put her.
ladies and gentlemen, back home, you're about to hear the A chord played for the first time by Sheba Turk.
Put it right there. Put it right below you. Right below your. Yeah.
Yep.
Just those two, and
That works, right? Yep.
That'll work.
there it is.
Hey,
That's it. Can you do it a bit louder so we can hear it at home?
Sheba Turk.
Nice.
on top.
Okay.
Very nice.
Now, that's all you need. Now
Okay.
let's go to power slides. That's
I feel so accomplished.
Okay, you did it. How do you feel? Does it feel good holding a guitar?
It feels good.
You look great holding
I
it.
have held one before. Sadly, I have several friends who play guitar.
That's not that sad.
But I haven't even
Now
learned.
You're like, I feel like this guitar is kind of sweaty. Why is the guy
It looks
sweaty?
nice.
It feels right at home.
It does, doesn't it? It looks
Good, 'cause
good.
now we're moving on to sweet picking. So
And now you're gonna learn how to shred. You're gonna learn metal shredding.
What do you want to play?
Adele.
Adele.
Nice.
Something by Adele. Do you guys know any songs by
That
Adele?
is,
No.
is that B
Anthony.
minor? We could have had it all.
Yeah, rolling in the deep.
I think that's B minor.
tell you what, just strum it.
Ah.
There's
That's it.
a fire burning burning in my pants.
Nice.
I don't know the rest of the words, so I'm just gonna make it up. We could have had it all.
This sounds like an Indian war chant.
That was nice job, everybody. Okay, so that was you playing half of it.
All right, next.
We're going to do that
touring.
on the news
Okay.
next week with you, Sheba.
Let's do it.
I think you did fantastic.
Sheba, what time do you have to get up tomorrow morning to go do the morning news?
I wake up like 2:45.
What do you have for breakfast at 2:45?
I try to count every moment, so like 2:47 really.
That's a good question. What's for breakfast?
Usually dinner.
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously. This morning I had meat, sauce, and spaghetti.
Oh, my.
Breakfast is just out of it doesn't fit into my day. 'Cause
Right.
that feels like night, so I eat dinner-ish.
You-
And then as the day goes on, it just feels more like it should be lunch and dinner. So I really don't eat breakfast.
What time do you go to bed?
Not when I'm supposed to. I work naps into the day.
You do.
Yeah. I took one before I came here.
All right.
Good idea.
Yeah.
You can take one during the show if you get sleepy.
Okay.
If the
That's always an
conversation
option.
sucks,
Right.
she falls asleep.
So you get up in the morning at what time do you say? 2:45.
2:47, yeah.
For 2:47, you get out of bed. You don't have to get too personal, but then you have a plate of spaghetti.
No. I eat it at work.
Oh, you eat it at work.
Yeah, while I'm getting ready for the news.
And
We
what do
go
you-
on at 4:30.
What does getting ready mean? Do you have to write the stuff you read, or does someone
Not
else do
for
that?
the news in the morning. Our producers work overnight. Bless their hearts to do that. So they come in at like 9 and 10 o'clock at night. When we come in, it's written. So you kind of read over it, rewrite it, add in details. But for the 504, I write the show.
So that show's really you. That you are hosting. You're hosting that show like I'm hosting this show. That's your
Yes,
whole thing.
yes.
But the news, so you're just reading stuff off a teleprompter. So why couldn't we all do that? Like Roger
probably
could.
could.
Roger could do it.
Roger probably could, especially
Right.
with his background and Emmy
You're
award
assuming I
winning.
can read, though.
Basically, if you can read, this is in your future.
But what is the special skill involved? Because obviously we're not.
Well,
couldn't-
there's. Can I take a guess at this?
Go ahead, break
I
it
think
down.
Andrew.
I think I want to look at somebody who doesn't look like they're actually reading a screen, but they're looking into my eyes and like with a cadence that cares and knows how to. And then you know what the real thing is, like when they report something really tragic, and then they go to the next camera and start the next thing. What's that space about? You know, like you got to go from like a really sad story to like what's the next story, and it's like and little Johnny, you know, his parents are.
And this
are,
week, the flying squirrels are at the convention
Right.
center.
You know, you can support Johnny's parents by going to this website and donating if you'd like. Sad story. And then like, what's the next thing?
Lucas the jumping panda
Yeah.
at the zoo.
Right.
This is so funny. Stevie G from B97 comes on our show all the time, and he loves to imitate that. A news reporter doing a really serious, tragic story and then going to a funny one.
Yeah.
So it's a producer's job to not do that for you. So you're not like, someone died yesterday.
Oh, it's like the
And
famous.
then we're going to the circus. You know, you try
Right.
to have a commercial break or something so it flows naturally.
You ever heard that Casey Kasem tape?
Oh, when he just goes on that
with a
rant.
dead dog, when he just goes completely apeshit about someone gave him a dedication. You remember the Casey Kasem
No,
show?
I only remember him from that Saved by the Bell episode.
That's all you need to know, though.
He used to have a show called Casey Kasem's Top 40, in which he counted down the top 40 songs
Top
nationwide,
40.
Okay.
and he would read these things in between
Dear
songs.
Casey.
A long distance dedication. From, somebody would send in, it's Grandma's birthday, and this is going out to you, Grandma. And
Jenny just broke my heart so bad,
Yeah.
but I still love her.
Yeah.
So I'd like to send out "How Deep Is Your Love" by the Bee Gees.
Yeah, exactly. And then this
This one's
particular
for you,
tape, if
Jenny.
you Google Casey Kasem dead dog rant,
It's going to come up.
Yeah, it'll
Okay,
come up.
that'll
It's,
be
it's
mine.
a priceless
I
piece
hope
of.
that's what
of-
comes up. What else would?
Come here, Steve.
Number
Everyone's
3 on
getting
my
off-
list.
Right.
Yeah, yeah, that's worth hearing. So that's an interesting thing. How do you learn that? That's what makes somebody good. Is stuff like that. How to cope with that sort of thing.
Yeah. So part of it is having a good producer who lines it up for you, but second is speaking up and saying, this doesn't go together.
Or you just have to say it.
Yeah, you have to say, hey, not on
Stamp
TV.
your
You
foot.
fix it before
Right.
it
Right.
happens.
I was saying
Right.
in the middle of the broadcast, though, you should do that. Be like, no.
Is that?
You guys are trying to play Anchorman
Well,
the movie.
Pass.
Yeah.
Oh, that is a good movie.
Yeah,
do you
not
get a
doing that.
reputation as a diva if you start doing that? Then.
Yeah, I mean, I think
supposed to
people, have assumptions with any career. I think ours comes along with, this person's a diva just because you're on TV.
No, but I mean, at work, if you say, like, I don't want to read this thing after this thing, what are you guys trying to do to me? Do you go like, oh, she's difficult, or is that professional?
Sometimes. I mean, it's all about balance. I think I worried about that more when I first came in because I felt like I'm nice and I wanted people to believe I was nice. Then you just have to get over it. I mean, it's about what makes the show better. I mean, I'm not mean at all. But you just have to voice your opinion.
That's for us to
And the
decide.
people you work with,
I
you work with appreciate that.
I think it's funny because I think when you watch the news or any show for that matter, and not just local news, but there are people that just have a demeanor about them. Like when I see you on TV, you're very friendly and jovial, and you come off like you're a very nice person. There are some people you watch and you're like, I bet you're an asshole.
Who?
Or like there's some
Who?
women who have.
Who do you think?
I'm not
that is?
naming names, man.
Grant, you are messy.
dirt
I'm just wondering who.
Do you?
There
I
are-
got you. You're a dirt digger.
Who would
There
you
are
think
some people that
you hate
my
on
wife
TV?
likes to say have. What
bet
is
that guy's
what's
an
the,
asshole.
what does she call it? Resting bitch face.
Yeah.
There are just women who
Okay.
just have like they look like they just drink like the most sour lemon you ever saw,
It's men.
and they just have that face of like, "Here's your news, you piece of shit."
But how accurate do you think that perception is?
It could be totally wrong, but it's just the perception that you build from watching the person.
Yeah, but how accurate is that? Is that real life, or is that just someone's?
you never know.
ability to-
It could be what they do. It could be how they act on
Well,
camera.
Sheba, what do you think? Do people come across? And Roger too. You're in the same business. Do people come across pretty much as they are, or can you?
Grant, if we
completely
knew this,
fake
I would
it?
invite the cool anchors to my pool party, but there's no
Well, we're
way.
going to find out who they are. Sheba seems like a nice
Do
person.
people come across on TV as there are in real
Yeah, like
life?
they're so nice. Someone seems. Are they really? And the people who come across as being unfriendly or cold. Who is that? I don't even know who that would be. Aren't they all just sort of fake nice with great hair? These
I'm
people?
actually totally intimidated by Angela Hill.
She's not even on the
That
news
just
anymore,
makes me
dude.
laugh.
She's not even on the news. She's on the
She's on
radio.
radio.
now.
You're just the sweetest person ever.
But why are you feeling
What?
intimidated, Steve? What? Because she's.
I'm just kidding. Because she's pretty. I watched her since I was a kid.
The
You know, if
legendary
I think if I saw
Angela
her in
Hill.
person, I'd just be like, hi.
There's probably a lot of that.
Well,
That you think you see someone in a particular.
y'all are picking on the news. Musicians, this is the
Oh,
same
believe
thing.
me,
You
there-
watch people in the
there are
band,
just
and
as
you're
many
like,
musicians-
he's so cool or she's so sweet.
And then
you meet
and
those-
then you meet them.
All musicians are assholes, though. It's way easier to classify.
Y'all try to fool people, though.
Well, you got to sell records. You
Yeah,
See?
that's right.
It's
got
all
to get
about
people to pay
selling,
the
huh?
cover to get in.
Okay.
I'm
Roger.
not giving you any secrets.
I don't want to know anything about anyone on TV. I don't even
I'm
know
sorry,
who
Andrew.
else
I've
is
just
on this.
exposed our
Who-
number one secret.
It's all right.
Who
that
are you
we're-
on with?
we're all just
Who's
giant
your
assholes.
co-anchor?
Mike Haas is my co-anchor
Mike
from
Haas.
4:30 to 6, and then we've got Sally Ann and Eric who join us from 6 to 9.
So you're on television from 4:30 till 9 a.m.
Yeah.
And then you go and do your
sporadically.
own show.
Yeah, that's we tape from 10 to 11.
How long have you been doing that?
So I started out of college like 3 years ago as an associate producer, so I was one of the writers of the news.
Right.
And then I transitioned to traffic reporter, then anchor, and then I got the 504. So
Holy crap! So it's been a meteoric
Moving
rise
up the
to fame.
ladder.
it's been fast. Yeah,
Sheba
it's been a
Turk taking
fast
over.
ride.
And what's the deal with a multi-million-dollar payment? Do you get paid a huge amount of money?
No. I mean, after you're there for a while.
5
No, I
hours.
wouldn't lie. When I have money, people will know.
You're on TV for 5
there
hours.
will be furs.
I'm Sheba Turk
there
with the
will be
news.
furs
Fuck
in
y'all
my
broke
life.
motherfuckers. Counting money on the
Right.
anchor desk.
No, I'm kidding. I'm happy with my salary, but I don't. I will hear people say I'm a millionaire, which it just makes me laugh.
That would be good. But when
Yeah.
you're on television for, is it 5 hours? That's a huge amount.
It is, but you have to realize. I mean, there's 4 of us.
But that's a big responsibility. You're responsible for a huge amount of revenue for that station.
Well,
5 hours a day. That is big
then
in
I
the
hope
morning.
I'm doing a good job.
That's
Huh?
well, I think they should pay you more.
I think we should-
Don't you guys think so?
I don't know what you make. You should get paid more.
yeah, right. I don't know. What
Whatever you
should
make,
get paid
double
for.
it.
You
Boom.
are
Yeah.
a mess.
Roger, it says here that you're now it says here you're the executive vice president of the Online Incentives Exchange.
Yes.
Is that true? That you're the executive vice president of
That's
something?
that was a segue
Yeah, let's
from
pick
murder.
on Roger.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, let's pick on Roger now.
Roger,
Well,
you
I'm
deal
not
with a
picking
lot of
on
money,
anyone.
I
right?
get how it goes. He's just going around the table.
I was
Yeah.
I was just
Yeah.
thinking about the money aspect of this.
And Johnny's dog is still
What-
dead,
what-
right?
Why
And
would,
if anyone can figure out what that is, then you get a bonus prize.
what is the Online Incentives Exchange?
It's a way that, you hear about all these tax credits that everybody is for and
Yeah.
against. It's a way that the same way you trade things on eBay, you trade tax credits between buyers and sellers. I'm actually a partner in the company, so it's very revolutionary in the fact that there never was a place completely transparent where these credits could be legitimized, bought, and sold. So that is that's not what I'm doing right now, but it is something that I do.
It's not what you're doing right now.
No, it's not
It
my main
reminds me of
focus
another
right
website that I've seen called barelylegal.com.
Did you just say weird site?
No, web
Oh,
site.
website.
Well, that is weird too.
That's the
Let's
Have you
see,
guys
let
ever
me-
been to barelylegal.com?
Let me get this.
This reminds me.
Online incentives, barely legal. Online incentives. Yes,
It
you're
doesn't-
right.
It doesn't sound.
That does. Yeah.
It doesn't sound quite legal, is it?
Oh yeah.
So you can trade tax.
With
Well,
who? You're
credit.
like,
Yeah,
you can trade your tax credits with me?
No,
Oh.
it's between institutions buying and selling.
Oh.
Ah, it's
Yeah.
institutional. What does that mean? What kind of institution?
Chevron buys one from Paramount Studios.
This is big. This is big.
Sounds big. I can't quite follow it. Can you follow
So,
it?
like hypothetically, Andrew Duhon LLC could buy tax credits from the Breton Sound LLC.
No.
No.
Not
Way
on
off.
this
Way
extreme.
off.
No,
Okay.
No.
Sure.
No, why not?
Yeah.
We've all
You know how
Just
you can
because
you know how
they've
you
got
can buy
beards?
Apple stock on E-Trade?
E-Trade. Yes. Okay.
Yeah, the same thing. So you have to be a legitimate stock, and you have to be a knowledgeable buyer. So
Okay, but these are tax credits that somebody got because they qualified.
no, these are
Like-
tax credits that were certified by the state first, and they were proven to be legitimate, and then they're sold. Not these credits
Right.
that people go to jail for duplicating. So there's a whole verification process before you can even list your credit on the exchange.
Okay, so it's legal. It's a legal
Well,
tax
let's
credit
see.
that I
So
got,
the
say,
list-
if I
the
produce
state-
a movie.
The state of Louisiana issued 300 million in movie tax credits alone last year. They probably issued another several hundred million in historic tax credits. They probably issued another several hundred million in digital software tax credits. So
Should we
tax
s-
credits,
Should we stop right there and ask you what a tax credit is? It's
Yeah,
actual
that's the best
cash.
thing.
It's cash, right?
No, well, that's how it can be sold. But what a tax credit is, it's an incentive that a state government, could be Georgia, Louisiana, California, Missouri, they
Texas?
offer
That's a
Texas.
state,
well,
right?
that's not. They're not big because they don't
I'm
have
trying-
income tax there.
Ah, okay.
So basically, a tax credit is something that offsets a tax liability, right? So if you owe $10 to the state in state income taxes, and somehow you earn a $10 state tax credit, you negate your liability.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
So let's take the movie business, because that's what interests everyone, sort of. So a movie comes here, and, well, the state says to Hollywood many years ago, come to Louisiana and make movies. In 2001, Steve Scalise, our U.S. representative, came up with this idea. The year he did that, we made about 60 million in movies. And he said, if you come here and make a movie, we'll give you back 35% of every dollar you spend here. So the year he did that, they did about 60 million in movies. Last year, they did 2 billion in movies
Right,
here,
but-
in production. So wait, let me
Okay, go on.
answer your
All right, all right,
question.
all right.
So the reason that happened is that the companies that come here and make movies, they earn this credit, but they can't use it because a credit only offsets a liability, and you only have a liability if you owe money, profit. You know, if you have to pay
Right.
tax on. So what they do when Steve Scalise and the legislature set this up, they said, well, you can transfer this credit to someone who may need it. So what you do is you earn that credit and you sell it for a slight discount. So let's say you're a wealthy Louisiana businessman. So
I
I
am.
sell you my credit worth $1 for 90 cents because I can't use it. I pocket the 90 cents and you bought it for 90 cents
Right, I'm
and
gonna
you
write
get
that
to
down.
deduct $1 on your tax return.
Right.
So that 10% little difference is why you paid 90 cents for
So
it.
on the incentive thing, you mentioned in the beginning that there are the people who are for or against. Who is against the tax incentive?
A lot of people feel, I mean, look, I'm not the spokesperson for the movie industry for or against, but a lot of people feel, are we really getting enough out of the movie industry
Yeah.
here to justify?
okay.
But you could say that, are we really getting enough out of the oil industry here? I mean, the incentives that go to the oil industry dwarf what goes to the film industry. Are we getting enough out of all these buildings you see built around the CBD, the warehouse, those at all the theaters that my legislation, the Sanger, the Joy, the Civic,
Yeah.
La Petite, the World War II theater, all those received credits because they were historic buildings, so they earned a historic credit. My legislation gave developers another credit. Are they worth rebuilding? I say yes because they're permanent, they create jobs, and if you didn't get this, they're going to sit there in disrepair.
Right.
And this isn't just Louisiana does this. Every state offers historic. There's federal historic tax credits, state historic tax credits.
Sheba, do you have a follow-up question about this?
No.
No.
I am so.
I lost.
Yeah,
I have a
lost.
question, and it's this phrase that I wrote down when you said it. You said that you have an historic tax, you have a tax credit, and you said this is the word you use. I can't use it.
I can't use it.
That is the whole point of the sort of scam aspect of this thing to me. You have a tax credit, which is actually
Nah, but you're
a
missing one
tax.
important thing. You spent the money first to earn the credit. You
Did
got to
you?
understand
Did you?
that.
You
And
spent-
anybody who earns
Okay,
a credit
okay, so
has
you
to
co-
spend the
okay,
money
so
first.
you come here to make a movie in
Right.
Louisiana. You got $100 million budget for the movie,
Right.
and the state tax credit is actually $35 million.
No, it's only on what you spend in Louisiana. So let's say you have $100
yeah,
million.
okay. So I spend $100 million in Louisiana.
All right.
Okay, on a budget. I mean, I pay the actor $10 million, and I pay
Well,
everybody
you're
else.
limited by how much you can take on the actor's salary.
Okay, so
let's just say
whatever
you
it is.
spent $30 million.
Suppose I spend $100
Okay.
million. The state gives me $35 million back. But I don't have a $35 million tax bill
That's
in
right.
Louisiana for whatever
That's
reason.
right.
I don't know if I made $100 million a year.
Right.
But anyway, so I sell that to
I see.
somebody else.
Mhm.
So I'm getting a tax credit for taxes I don't owe. So
Yes,
it's
but what-
basically cash.
But you're transferring it, right, to
You're
people who
tran-
do
I'm
owe
selling it
taxes.
to someone who can use it.
But you're leaving out a very important thing.
Okay.
On that kind of movie, you probably hired 300 people. You probably engaged many restaurants, many
Right.
hotels, many crews,
Yeah.
many camera, many. So you created jobs with that money,
Right.
and those people would never have earned that money, else the incentive would have lured the movie here.
Right.
This is the big conversation.
Right.
I think
know?
I think it's brilliant. I think cities like ours, we weren't Detroit 10 years ago, but
Right. We were
but
Detroit
after
10 years ago.
Katrina, you started to wonder, right? And to have this thing which is bold and brave and says our city is about culture and about art, and we're going to make sure that we bring it here.
Yeah.
I think it's working.
Well, and let me give you another add-on to what he's saying. So Georgia, about 5 years after our program took off, they went on our website, the state website, they copied the legislation, and they changed the name Louisiana to Georgia.
Wow.
They passed it, and now they are doing $1 billion something. So if people like yourself think it's not good for Louisiana, I totally respect that. I'm on the fence, sometimes good, sometimes bad. But they'll just go make the movies in Georgia, and all those jobs and all that trickle effect will just go to Georgia.
Well, here's the only thing that makes me wonder is that
But you shouldn't worry about the legality of it, because it's
Right.
offered by the state
Right.
to people who must certify what they're going to spend. Then the state does an accounting, and only after it's
Right.
determined that they spent that are they issued the credit. You just don't
Okay.
say,
I'm all for,
I'm here and I'm getting
well,
a credit.
I'm all for people working in the film business and the music business and the software business and
Yeah.
the oil business and every business that they do all these tax. I'm all for people being employed and making a whole bunch of money. But it seems to me that we make more movies now in Louisiana than anywhere in the world.
Last year we
Right.
had more here than in Hollywood.
Come in, yeah.
Last year we had more here
Yeah.
than in Hollywood. But I don't
We
know.
had more Hollywood studio movies here than Hollywood.
We
But
had
guess
more-
what? As a result, California just passed their own film tax credit legislation to get the business.
Well,
back.
that's
And
the
other
whole
states
thing.
have the same program too. Now, I think
Fi-
Georgia does.
40 some
most
odd
of it,
states
yeah.
have these programs.
Yeah.
You see, I would
Our
think
city's way cooler.
I would think if our state was run by a bunch of geniuses, they could explain it.
But
it's-
if it was
it's
a
not.
skiff, we could all take a boat
clearly
ride.
not.
I think I'm explaining it quite well.
No, but I mean that would explain.
You got my vote.
So what you're saying is that
Run for office. Dude.
whoever runs Louisiana, the governor of Louisiana, and the state legislators,
We don't have
are
one right now.
smarter than everybody else in every state in the country, and that's why we make more movies here.
No.
Exactly.
What they're saying.
what worries me.
No, this movie business, like when I was acting, I did movies in Vancouver, Canada because of credits. I
Right.
did them in New Mexico because of credits. I did them in Florida. So what the people, what Steve Scalise and the people who originated this in 2001 said is, why don't we get some of this activity to help bolster our economy?
Yeah.
Plus, of all the states that might be really hospitable to the movie industry because of location and talent and music and our history with literature and culture, this could be a real good fit for Hollywood. And they were right.
It's
You
a
know,
it's a
they were
front end
right.
investment based
Yeah.
specifically on art and culture. I mean, it's brave, but it's perfect in my opinion.
How do you think you're getting all these big $20 billion liquid natural gas facilities in Southwest Louisiana? I don't know if you know, but there's about 60 billion of them being built. The state is paying probably thousands of dollars
Right.
per worker just to lure those
Well,
businesses
this
here.
thing they're going to build, Sasol is going to build in.
That's canceled now.
it's canceled.
Yep.
That's
we
never
actually
going to happen.
lost a handful of plants. That's my world. I do high voltage stuff in
There you go.
plants. And
High
they-
voltage.
Yeah, AC/DC style.
High voltage rock and
We lost
roll.
a couple of major.
But that's 'cause of the
facilities
price of
because
oil
the
going down.
Oil and because
Ah.
of they had nothing to do with the film things. I actually think it helps a lot. I like to hear your opinion on what it, from the real estate perspective, because I just bought another house over there in Magazine, Louisiana. Like, finally can move back to my town because I've been stuck in Baton Rouge. But the price of real estate here is, you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
skyrocketing. And some of the stuff that they're relating it to is the industry coming in and people swiping up and buying things and having some sort of I guess, overpaying for real estate, and it's kind of inflating the market. It's making it hard for locals to actually even pay rent in some of the spots. Like, well, what's the area that you live in? It's more because of that hospital.
Fontainebleau?
Well, you know, like the Broadmoor area is getting skyrocketed.
Oh,
but
well,
they're saying
you've
like
got you've got the
Irish
medical
Channel-
complex that's building up,
Yeah.
and so Central City's starting to build up, and that kind of mid-city towards the interstate
Yep.
area is starting
But
to build up.
Film stuff, it's a lot of the Bywater, Marigny kind of things, where when we were growing up, it was, you know, a
Right.
low-income area or more. Now it's crazy because it's like nothing's changed, but it's unaffordable.
Well, mind
know?
you, this is a state incentive, so this has totally rejuvenated the city of Shreveport. I mean, Shreveport was the original filmmaking capital of the state, really. So it does benefit everyone. I mean, from strawberry farmers to carpenters to writers to TV to radio. WWL does innumerable stories on the film industry, on tax credits. I've been on many of them, maybe not you. So believe me, everybody benefits or gets something out of this program, I feel.
Now the
You know?
legislature's limited the film credits to $200 million
Well, that's
a year.
just what's proposed right now.
Oh, that's
You
not
still-
going to happen.
No, you still
Is
got
it going to
another-
happen, or is it just never?
I mean, they're going to change it, and what I think what we're talking about is they're going to make it so that you really have to involve more permanent Louisiana residents to get the credit, and I think that's really good. So if you hire a Louisiana musician to record your soundtrack, you're going to get more of a credit than if you hire an LA one.
Oh,
and
that's
I think that's
interesting.
really cool.
I think that's
cool.
very smart.
Yeah.
Are we going to end up with a real film business here, like
We
Hollywood?
have a real film business.
No, I
here.
mean we just have people who are making films.
No,
here.
no, you've got
Do
four.
we
ma-
have writers and
The
directors?
infrastructure
and,
is here now.
You have four major Hollywood-sized film studios here, and you
Yeah,
have
but by studio you just mean an empty building.
no.
I'm talking about studios like Warner Brothers or.
Well, no, but
Disney.
they're not empty. They're full of people working.
Yeah, but as soon as they stop shooting
But
film,
then another movie comes.
yeah, but they just shoot films here. I mean, do we going to have people here who write films and direct?
Well,
films
that's
and
I mean, you do, but I think
the business
I think
side.
what I was just saying about you'll get more of a credit if you hire Louisiana talent. They'll have to be a resident. What they're really going to do is what people did before. You were a resident if you were here 6 months a year. With the new legislation that's pending, you have to be here 12 months a year. So it is going to create exactly what
Okay,
you're
hey
talking
Roger,
about.
that's really cool. How involved are you with all this? Do you just follow it, or are you actually
Well,
involved?
I mean,
in-
I thought to rebuild Canal Street after Katrina was an opportunity because Canal Street was in the toilet before Katrina. And I thought that if we could really rebuild the heart of our downtown, every city that does well had one thing in common, which was they had spent hundreds of millions to put a cultural center in the heart of their downtown. I mean, from San Francisco, Seattle, LA, Houston, Dallas, Miami. And what that does is attract a new kind of permanent resident with higher paying jobs, higher revenue, everybody benefits. So I focused on that. What can I do to rebuild downtown New Orleans? And that's when I came up with the Broadway South legislation. So I was very wrapped up in it then. Now, between the OIX, the Online Incentive Exchange, and I have an interest in what happens in Baton Rouge, I just follow it. But
right.
you know.
But you're not really doing the AOX right now, you said.
Well, I'm a partner in the company, so I'm
Okay.
doing other things right now. So
But how did you go from being interested in something to actually doing it? What? I mean, you're an actor and a
same
writer.
thing. I
and-
picked up the guitar and had an A chord, then I learned
just-
an E chord, then I learned a D chord, and I could play 2,000 songs. You know.
And a broken heart, brother.
You knew the whole AC/DC catalog
That's it, man.
instantly.
You
All
just
you gotta
decided. You just decided I'm going to do it. I'm going to rejuvenate Canal Street by myself.
Yeah.
And
Well,
you
not
just-
by myself.
No,
I
but
had a
you
lot of help.
amassed a bunch of other people.
Had a lot of help.
So you just had this great idea and did it. What do you think makes someone like you do that? Well, I mean, what's the difference between sitting around having a few beers and say someone ought to fucking do up Canal Street,
You
and
know,
actually doing
I
it?
I think you just said it, beer.
Beer, yeah. I'll tell you why. Because I was living in New York at the time that Katrina hit, and people up there were talking very freely about why should we put any money into this little swamp down there, let it drown. And I got very insulted by that. First of all, they don't know that everything that heats them in the winter is from this little swamp down here, and all the seafood they eat is from this little swamp down here, and all the grain that gets exported to Europe is from this little swamp down here. So I said, I have to do something to make sure this place, my own little individual way, that it doesn't go under. That was my motivation.
And that one person turned into a whole movement, and
Turned
now
into a
you've
whole
actually
thing.
rejuvenated the whole of Canal Street.
Yeah, well, it's coming. It's coming. It's been
I love
over
that
over
the theaters
300.
are coming back, man.
Yeah.
That you can actually see plays here.
Yeah.
You know? It's cool.
Right.
It's
That's
over
very cool.
over 300 million in construction as a result of that bill. So very happy about it.
Well, good job.
Thank you.
Nice work.
Well done, Roger. Well done.
And I'll shut up about tax credits on that. I did learn in my years always quit when they clap. So there.
Okay, very good.
That's it. Yeah.
Andrew, do you want to pick up a guitar for a second? Because first of all, I have
Can I
to.
borrow one?
I have to read this, and then you have to play a song.
You have to.
All right.
We're totally, look how late we are already,
Hell
but we
yeah.
just have to do it. Okay. I just want to thank these people for helping us make the show today. Our sponsors on the show today are Petite Pet Care. If you're going out of town or you have a crazy schedule, you have 2 pets, don't you, Sheba?
I have 2 dogs.
You do. So your dogs could be looked after in the comfort of their own home.
Oh, wow.
Thanks to Petite Pet Care. You can give them a call or look them up at petitepetcare.com for loving care when you're not there. Thanks also to Basics Swim and Gym, a full range of fashion swimsuits, workout and yoga clothes with style. The all-new Basics Swim and Gym is on Magazine Street near Jefferson Avenue, right near your new house, Steve. You could walk there. You could walk to Basic Swim and
Go
Gym
get
and
some
pick
yoga
up some
pants
yoga
for you.
pants
Great
I look
location.
fantastic
and a nice
in yoga
spangly
pants.
top as
I
well.
look fantastic. in
This
yoga
stuff is cool.
You
Go
know, I
check
was
it out.
thinking that sitting over
pants.
here.
Dude,
That's what you were thinking about?
I think this is more.
That's what he wears on the road, just strictly
is.
yoga pants.
And then you can pick some of up this as well. Some Hangover Destroyer, the only all-natural product medically proven to prevent a hangover, guys. Go to the Hangover Destroyer website. It's hdestroyer.com. Write happy hour in the coupon code and get 30% off Hangover Destroyer and Seize the Dawn. Thanks also to unlistednola.com, the revolutionary new way to buy a house in New Orleans. Oh, you could have hooked up with these guys too,
I
Steve.
blew it.
If you know what you're looking for, you can find your perfect match before it comes on the market. It's thematch.com of real estate. It's unlistednola.com. Thank you very much to all those people, and thank you very much to Andrew Duhon. Don't put it down. Don't put it down.
I was singing Alice's Restaurant by Arla
It's got
Guthrie
that
in my
turnaround,
head
doesn't
the
it?
whole,
Yeah.
the whole
That's
time.
very nice music.
Andrew, what are you going to play here today?
I've just been in a country mood, Grant, so I'm going to play a country song.
Well, you are the winner of the 2014 Big Easy Award for Best Country and Folk Artist.
Well, yes,
let's
sir.
face it.
Yeah, I'm a blessed man. That's right.
You want me to get you some dip, man?
I got it.
You
Thanks,
got some?
brother.
Get some chew.
Yeah. My bottom jaw is actually missing. This is all just dip down here.
His beard is total dip.
You were a single ray of light that flew across my night, set me all ablaze until you burned me down. Just so you know, I am prepared to go tomorrow. But just the same, it's still today. So can we wait around till the candle burns out? Till its light is replaced by the morning. The dimmer that the light, the closer that we huddle around. Or can we wait around till the candle burns out? But I know that we are through. There's nothing left to do. I will forget your name if I have to, Betty Sue. Just so you know, I am prepared to go tomorrow. But just the same, it's still today. You. So can we wait around till the candle burns out? Till its light is replaced by the morning. The dimmer that the spark, the closer that we huddle around. Or can we wait around till the candle burns out? Or can we wait around till the candle burns out?
Nice.
Yes.
Lovely.
Thank you kindly.
Andrew Duhon, country superstar. That's not really a country-ish song, is it?
I don't
Very
know, isn't
country.
it? Isn't it kind of country?
Did you think it was
Kinda.
country, Sheba?
It's a
Adele,
little country.
Adele could have sung that,
Adele
couldn't
could
she?
have sang it.
What
though.
the hell's
I like
country?
That, though. He's crossing line.
Who wrote that song?
I did.
Nice.
Wow.
Beautiful song.
Using his iPhone.
Yep. Mostly autocorrect.
Very nice.
It all
It's a
ducking. Every word is
song.
ducking.
It's a song about seizing the moment, living in the moment. It's still today. It's not tomorrow yet.
Yeah. Or maybe like, enjoying the last fleeting moments of a love that is just about going.
That's country.
Yeah.
That's what it's about.
That's what it's about. Wait
There
around
you
till the
go.
candle burns out, yeah.
Wait around till the
Wow.
candle burns out. Okay.
It's going to burn out,
Oh my God! There we go. This is Andrew's MO. This is what he believes that everything's
Right, do you hear that? Right,
everything's
it's all gonna end.
everything's destined
This
to go to
reminds me
shit.
of what Oscar Wilde said, because it's a bit pessimistic. You know what he said a pessimist is?
What?
An optimist who knows better.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, you see?
Well, you guys have the same relationship. What-
Steven
you-
is Mr. Positive, and by that I mean Mr. Negative all the time.
I see
The worst in
intelligent
everything.
perspective.
You're an optimist who knows
no.
better.
Yes.
But you think it's reality, right, Steven? You think people are stupid believing that everything's going to work out because it isn't.
No, I think there's some sort of happy medium in between. I just think he's crazy for thinking I'm not that pessimistic.
Well, are you the optimist?
See, he's not.
I think I was, but I think I'm getting more pessimistic
The
with
longer
age.
you try to be a professional musician, the less optimistic life makes you.
Well,
The
you've
more
been a
you start to-
musician the same length of time,
Or waiting tables, it works the
Yeah.
same way. Or being in
or high voltage.
probably your industry is the same way.
But last time you were on our show, Jonathan, you were on with your brother who was in the band. What happened to him?
He joined the army, and
Left.
no, he left to do his own thing also.
He's in a punk band. He's doing
Now,
he's a punk guy.
is he's in this band that Christian Unruh, who is our music director on the show, doesn't get very enthusiastic about too many bands, but he talks about this band that your brother's in called the Pears, right?
They're
Yeah.
hardcore type. If you're into
What's
the
the-
screaming and hardcore
I
type
thought they had
stuff,
like a more
that's what
potty
they do.
mouth name, like the Poopy Pants or something.
No, I
That'd
think
be a
he
great
had
name for a
Wasn't
band.
He had a band called Pooh.
Yeah,
a
okay,
while
that was
back.
it. Yeah, Pooh,
but,
yeah.
Pooh.
Jesus Christ.
What?
That's actually true. That's why we're not in that scene.
This is my
I don't
fucking
take credit.
DNA,
Like
man.
after
Their
Winnie
music
the
is
Pooh?
a
What's
shit.
the
His
Pooh
kid
come
brother.
in? Winnie the Pooh, I'm hoping.
Yeah,
no,
let's go with that.
yeah, we'll go with that.
Okay.
What was the logo of Pooh?
I don't know. You want to call him and get him to
I
explain?
don't think
it?
they had a logo. I think it was just self-explanatory.
Okay, so this is his full-time gig now. Roger, you're out of here?
Yes, thank
Okay.
you.
Good
I
to-
so
thanks for
enjoyed
coming,
being
man.
with
You have to go.
guys.
Likewise.
Bye,
Is it
Roger.
busy? Roger, where do you have to go to that you're so
Back
busy?
to work.
What are
To
you
earn
doing?
the tax
To do
credits.
tax credits. Online tax
Thank you very
credits.
much.
Okay,
And
Roger,
thank you.
thanks
You're
for
a charming
joining us.
host. Thank
Good
you
to
very
good
much.
to have you.
Thanks for
Okay,
coming by.
bye.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
See ya.
Thank you.
So you can't stay here for the full hour because he's got to take off 35%.
Good one.
I guess, right?
I think you
got
freaked
tax
him out
credit
with
work
the
to
poo
do.
talk.
I don't know if
Yeah.
that's ever happened to us. Has anyone ever said they have to go
No.
before? Usually people say that, but they never
This
actually
is a
end
show
up
of
going.
firsts. We
I
got
had to
Yeah.
go.
we got
I had to go
applause
earlier, but I came back.
You did go earlier and come back. That's why I didn't mention that, though. We kept that quiet.
Right,
I had
he
a problem.
actually didn't
I
out
had
you.
I had to come straight from work, and
Okay, stop right there. What do
came
you
here very
do?
quick.
What is this
I
high
don't even
voltage?
know where this is going. Where are you
Yeah,
going?
what is
I
this?
know. I said I had to go to the
You
bathroom.
didn't have time to go to the bathroom before the show started?
No, I went right
Sheba,
in here. walked
Sheba, how's that work with the news? It's live. What if you have to go to the bathroom?
I make everything work. I eat during that show. I go to the bathroom during the show. I talk on the phone. You can
I'm not
make
as
it work.
talented
Well,
as
they,
you
I told you there's
is
4
obvious.
of
Well,
us.
5 hours. You.
But there's 4 anchors, so I mean, if the 3 of them have stories before me, then I can make breakfast.
Right, you
during
can
the
go do
show,
your
you
thing.
know? My dinner
I
breakfast.
just sped right here from Geismar, Louisiana, and
You did?
Here we are.
What is up with your high voltage life? What does that mean? What do you do?
I do electrical engineering in my real life. And,
Ah, you're a high voltage electrical engineer.
play in the industries, yeah, play in the plants.
What does that mean? You work in power plants?
Sort of. Sometimes they all the big industrials require a lot of electricity to run, and I'm one of the guys who tries to make it stay online.
When you say industrials, you mean refineries and so on?
Yeah, refineries, chemical plants, places like that. Everything that's shooting smoke into the air that we don't like so much.
Right. How's your health?
I stay out of them as much as I can.
You work
Actually, the electrical guys are safer because we stay away from all the actual process.
Okay.
My part, you can't be near the dangerous explosive stuff. So
Is,
yeah.
is living around electricity meant to give you cancer?
It's supposedly if you live under very like high voltage transmission lines. You can.
That's
but,
what I've heard. So if you're working with high voltage electricity every day, are you likely to be a cancer victim?
I think I do way worse things to myself than get around high electricity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess playing rock and roll, but you're not
Something else
smoking.
is going to kill me long before
You're
that
not
does.
smoking anymore, though, right?
I don't smoke.
You're not in smoky bars anymore because there's no smoking.
That's true.
How has that had an effect on you guys as musicians?
I'm wondering if I can shit in an outhouse if I can't smoke in a bar.
See,
is that,
I'm
is
with
that the
him.
title of your
I
your
totally
album?
stole that from my bass player Miles. He walks
That's
in
great.
to rehearsal that day and he's like, "Man, can you believe that? I mean, can I shit in an outhouse if I can't smoke in a bar?" I thought it was great.
see, I'm a non-smoker, and I actually am for having it in the bars. I think it's crazy.
I think there should be the option, maybe a
Right,
certain.
it's a private business. Why can't you say I want to have
yeah,
smoking?
pay
in
for
here?
a permit or whatever.
You
that
can't
is.
even have smoking in there, even if you want to. Now.
Right.
Yeah,
that's what's
no.
crazy. I think that's anti-American.
Yeah, the
The
cul-
only
right,
thing
the
you have to think
culture-
about is the people who actually work there. You know.
Yeah, well,
so what
that's
if
why
you
the-
have to you
They
need
all
that
smoke.
job.
What about walking around?
There are corrective
you wait
measures that
tables?
can be made to
Well-
make sure that only 10% of the bars are smoking, and that can be as simple as a permit that's expensive or something, and now you're going to limit it to
Smoking
the market.
credit.
Yeah, like only one per sector is going to survive. Just
Well, and look at so Harris applied to have 400 jobs cut
No casino smoking.
after the
That's
casino
insane.
after the smoking
Yeah.
ban. So 400 people are going to lose their jobs.
Is that
Like,
true?
instant-
400 people?
Yeah, our
400
bass player works at
jobs.
Harris.
Hang on. Why would smoking in a casino?
Because people want to
Make
sit there and smoke
400
cigarettes and
So few people who are hooked on gambling or whatever the reason you go to
not
a
that
gonna-
casino.
stark.
they're
I'm
gonna
not
go out-
gonna go.
They're
They're
going to
go-
go out to Kenner and gamble out there because
Yeah,
they
they're
can
gonna
smoke
go to
out
the
there.
treasure
Oh, you can smoke at the treasure chest, but you can't smoke in Orleans Parish.
Yep.
Apparently, I
Right
see.
now.
I think-
And is
eventually they'll probably go
is
statewide.
that really happening?
That's happening.
It will.
Really?
They said that there's less
People are
in the
that into
casinos already.
smoking that they couldn't last 10 minutes
course.
sitting at a poker machine.
You don't want to. If you're sitting on a slot machine, the last thing you want to do is get up.
Especially if you hit a hot streak.
Yep.
Cherries.
As soon as you get up, you're going to lose that sequence that you have in your brain that's going to make you a millionaire.
Sounds like you've been in this position.
Not
before,
me
sir.
in particular.
You're just speaking of friends.
Just people
Well, I think
know.
we're doing people a
Do I
favor.
really look like that kind of guy? I'm offended.
Aren't we doing people a favor by disabusing them of that insane belief? Because it's not true, obviously. The casino is making a lot of money and you're not.
They do make a lot of money.
And you're not because they're taking it off you. You're not going to be on a hot streak because you're going to lose eventually.
Well, I don't gamble.
No, but no, okay, so the royal we or the
Right, yes,
generic
the
you,
royal we.
you know.
You have to
So,
wave like
yeah,
this
so
when you
you know
say
what I mean. That would be. So I would like people to regulate. If we're going to regulate smoking, I would like it to be regulated outdoors. I would like to stop people smoking outside, so I don't have to walk through it.
So you just don't want
What-
them to smoke at all.
What would be? No, I don't care about people smoking, but if we're going to regulate it at all,
You know what? This plant that built our country? Yeah, let's just not buy it anymore.
did we think America's built on tobacco?
I would say.
Really?
Tobacco and oil.
Tobacco's the major player, pre-industrial.
Really? Sheba, what do you think about it?
You know, I don't know about tobacco. I'm not sure. I'm not saying yes or no, but
It's a major crop.
Someone say tobacco?
Someone say the bag.
I don't think you can claim that the United States of America was built on the back of the tobacco industry. Really, is it that
This
big?
country was built on freedom and
Preach
nothing
it.
else. Nothing else but freedom.
But freedom ain't free.
Pure American freedom, man.
These colors don't run.
Costs $1.05.
they have a whole skit going over here.
But we've already determined that the government's going to regulate things.
Yeah, that's
So,
fine.
So you're allowed to regulate stuff, apparently.
Bunch of commies. That's what I say.
Why don't they regulate the cigarette? Or do they regulate the cigarette?
Yeah, and
I
they're
mean,
trying
what's
to
in the cigarette? Yeah, that's
make more taxable, or get our tax up because our tax is pretty low on the cigarette. I understand.
Yeah, they're trying to.
Yeah, we have the
up that.
lowest in the,
You mean the content of a cigarette is definitely determined by the government.
I believe.
It has to be at least 50% tobacco,
Right.
and that's all. Only 50%. If you roll a cigarette of roll your own tobacco and you put it down, it goes out. Actual tobacco doesn't burn by itself, but
Right.
cigarettes continue to burn because they have all the crap in
I
it.
did
Right.
not know that.
Yeah.
You need to
Guys
know
are
more
filled
about
with tobacco
smoking.
fun facts.
Yeah.
I need to go home and study smoking.
You need
Apparently.
to start smoking. Smoking.
Right?
Smoking is sexy and fun.
Is it okay? Well, I'll get on it, man.
Sheba, have you ever smoked at all?
No.
Not once. Never played the guitar, never smoked.
Well, now she
I
has
play
played
the guitar.
Well, now you can play like Adele.
Yeah, smoking's not. Not gonna be in my future.
Not going to be in your future, no. Andrew, did you quit smoking? Did you ever smoke?
I mean, I don't. I don't I've never quit, but I don't think I've ever started. But I have smoked. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
That was
I'm
a
like-
shaky
Jonathan-
answer. That was.
Jonathan, what
Yeah.
about-
You know, it's like, well,
What about you and Pooh?
if you ain't addicted, why quit? You know what I mean?
I
I could quit any time.
I do smoke. I'm a smoker. I will admit that.
Uh-huh. 1 in 5.
Huh?
1 in 5.
Right. I'm the only one, which usually is the case.
Hey, can I have one
Andrew
after the
kind
show,
of counts
bro?
as a half.
I actually didn't
right?
bring him
Come
with me.
I'm
on.
just kidding. I'm
Why do you still smoke?
It's a bitch to quit, man. It's very hard to quit.
What about the vape thing? Did you try the vape thing?
I did try the vape
Dude, I
thing,
totally vape.
and it's a pain in the ass. I mean, it just kind of is.
It looks
Hear about these
stupid.
kids
It looks
overdosing on
dumb.
that?
Like you got
There's
this
news
big,
reports.
this big thing in your face all the time, and
Like apparently infinitely
and it
stronger.
doesn't taste very good. It tastes kind of like dust.
Hey,
so-
so it's
Oh.
infinite, like way stronger than a cigarette. So these kids were getting sick because they're smoking a whole.
Nicotine.
They're smoking a ton of nicotine and like they're going to the hospital.
I want to quit. I'm going to at some point. It's
Well,
just a
let's
matter
help
of-
you right
I
now.
think
How
kids-
could we?
Right now, what are we gonna
How
do?
can we help you quit
I'm
right
willing
now?
to bet.
Never
I'm willing
have.
to bet. Kids will change it.
Are you having?
Oh yeah,
what?
I think whenever the time comes I have kids,
Kids will
that's when
change.
that's when I will stop.
Oh, I think people say
Hopefully
that about
before
having
then,
kids
no.
are going to change everything.
Nah,
It
you just
doesn't
keep them
change
in the
anything.
shed.
Yeah.
It's
His
even
wife,
worse. Yeah.
his wife will
I've
just
heard
beat the
that.
shit out of him until he stops.
That's
like,
even
we
more
have
stress.
we have a child.
No, because whenever I am around friends that have young children, I'll make sure like I don't smoke before we go there. I've taken a shower. I've cleaned off. I'm wearing
it's
clean
disgusting.
clothes, so you don't
No.
go there smelling like smoke. And one day. Then I'll pick up
When
Frank.
when
or
when are you
meth.
going to have kids?
2034.
Okay, all right.
Not anytime soon.
So you got a few cigarettes in your future before then.
Sure, yeah.
Okay. Hey, you know what? We're out of time here.
No.
It's all over. Unless you want to stick around for another hour, we do another happy hour, and we can put that up next week.
Okay.
Okay, we'll do a
Sure.
second one.
Sure.
Okay, we'll start over. Where's my thing?
We'll do
Okay,
the whole
hang on.
Adele
So
song.
just
that
start
time.
over. We'll do the whole show again.
By then, I'll be able to
Okay.
play the guitar entirely.
Oh, you got that one
Okay.
chord.
Right.
Okay, here we go then. Happy hour. Hey, how do we start the show again? It's happy hour from
It's
Uptown
happy
New
hour.
Orleans. Something like
Dear
that.
Casey. Dear Grant.
Okay, so you have to Google that.
Dear Grant.
You've got to Google
Okay,
Casey
that's right. I have
Kasem, Dead
research to
Dog
do.
Rant. That's worth hearing.
Dead dog.
What else did we come up with on the show that we have to remember?
We need to research tax online.
Tax online. We've got to get. We've got to go.
credits.
We're going to put a link to that on our website if you're driving around.
Also, I think we need to take our business entities as musicians public, because like on that show Empire, right?
Okay.
Then people can buy and sell our stocks. We get tax credits.
I can totally dig that. Yeah. Let's
That
get,
sounds
let's get
good.
a union.
If we want to
Let's unionize.
steal music from the Breton Sound, go to bretonsound.com.
Yep.
And look out for their new EP called "Don't Be Afraid of Rock and Roll," and the new single off called "Illuminate," which
Illuminate.
is out right now,
Which
which
is
we
out
didn't get to hear because
everywhere.
we've got to the end of the show. Should
That's
we make?
fine. It's online.
You want to play it before we leave?
Nah.
Screw that. Okay, we'll just
It'll be
get
really
out of here.
loud. It's a loud singing
That one's
song.
hard to
Okay.
do.
This
Yeah.
restaurant is filling up with people. We have to get
Yeah.
out. We have to get out of
It's
here.
getting
and
busy.
Make
They want
way
their
for paying
table for tips.
customers. Yeah. Hey, so thanks for joining me, everybody.
Thanks for having
Thanks
us.
for
Sheba
having us,
Turk,
man.
Steve Turner,
Appreciate
Jonathan Pretus, and of course Andrew Duhon as well. Chris Kehoe is right behind me. He's our associate producer and technical director, and our producer is Graham DePonte. Christian Unruh is the music director of our show, and Mitch Foreman wrote the theme song which you're currently listening to being played. If you'd like to be on our show and you can sit around a table for about an hour, drop us a line. Our address is on our website, where you can also check out plenty of other happy hours to listen to, along with some other shows we make here. Out to Lunch with Peter Raschuti, live from Commander's Palace. Mindset with psychiatrist Dr. Nick Pajic, True to the Game with the fabulous Chris True. Midnight Menu +1 with Margot Moss and the man who ate New Orleans, Ray Canata. Louisiana Eats with Poppy Tucker. Milo's Music Parlor with Kim Vu. And the revolutionary new way to buy a house in New Orleans, Unlisted Nola. You can keep up with us on Facebook and on Twitter and a bunch of other time-sucking social media as well. And all of it we called It's New Orleans. You can find photos from this show on itsneworleans.com and on our Facebook and Google Plus pages. Those photos are taken today by the fabulous Alison Moon, whose hair is purple. And up in a sort of is that a bun? Is that called a bun?
That's a top
Yeah.
bun.
That is
Top-
a bun. It's a
top
good
bun.
It's
big
called.
bun.
It's big, isn't
Yeah,
it?
I love it.
Does it just all your hair, or does it have something in it? There's a sock in it.
There's a sock in your
Yeah.
hair.
That's like that's like a bump it for buns.
Sock buns got me through elementary school.
Really?
Before the
buns
bump it.
got me
Predates
through
the
elementary
bump it.
school.
Yeah.
I think we have the title for today's
This is
show.
a thing.
Yeah.
Sock
Sock
buns
buns.
got me through
I'm just
elementary
learning of
school.
the existence
I
of
had
a sock
one the other
bun.
day. They make them now, so it's not a sock. It's
Can
an
I f-
actual thing. But
can
the
I fit?
old school way is sock. So I love that she's authentic about it.
Would one of y'all sock bun me before
Oh
we
yeah,
go?
I could totally. Yeah, we can. No,
All right.
I can do it.
Excellent.
I promise.
I got a gym bag in my car. You know.
You
if
can't
need
put a whole
a-
gym
Yeah.
bag in your hair. You could just do a sock.
Well, yeah, I have some.
I see what
dirty
you did
socks
there,
in
You have
right?
socks
We would
in
like
your-
clean socks, please.
They'll have to be clean. What
Ah.
color sock do you have in your hair, Alice? A black sock. Okay, and your hair's purple. Do you have any purple socks?
It's her bun is a
No, she doesn't have any
bruise.
purple socks. Okay, where did I get up to? If you're listening to this show on iTunes or
Just start
Stitcher or
over.
some other podcast app, thank you for subscribing to us. Do one thing for me. Take a moment to rate and review us. That helps other people find us. Our show is recorded live today at the fabulous Wayfair on Ferret Street, where they put fine dining into a sandwich and fine booze into a glass. Happy Hour is a production of INO Broadcasting for itsneworleans.com. For Andrew Duhon, everybody around here, around the table at Wayfair and back at our office at INO Broadcasting. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Grant Morris. We'll see you back here next week on Happy Hour.
Technology Truths, brought to you by Geico.
Technology Truths.
Truth. Teenagers can communicate entirely in emojis.
How was the birthday party? Pizza slice, kitten, soccer ball, pineapple?
Truth. It's so easy to switch and save on car insurance at geico.com.
What are you talking about? Paperclip, shoulder shrug, high five, wizard hat? What?
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.